In the world of the bold and the beautiful, the lives of its characters are always marked by shocking revelations and twists that change everything. Recently, a bombshell of an event is set to unfold that will leave fans reeling and on the edge of their seats. Liam Spencer, a beloved and central figure in the soap opera, is set to meet an untimely and tragic end. This storyline promises to be one of the most dramatic and emotional moments in the show's history, as the unexpected death of Liam will ripple through the lives of everyone he leaves behind. The shocking nature of his demise, coupled with the emotional consequences for his family and friends, will create a deep and heart-wrenching plot that no one saw coming. ##### The initial diagnosis and Liam's uncertainty. The story begins with a glimmer of hope for Liam Spencer. For some time, Liam had been grappling with a series of health issues that had left him uncertain about his future. The doctors had been running a series of tests, and the possibility of a brain tumor loomed over him like a dark cloud. His family, particularly his father Bill Spencer, had been anxiously waiting for answers, with Bill's worry for his son's health growing with each passing day. The tension surrounding the situation was palpable, and the uncertainty of Liam's condition weighed heavily on everyone involved. At first, the diagnosis was grim. There was a real possibility that Liam could have a brain tumor, and the thought of losing him was devastating not only for his family, but also for his friends, including Forrester, with whom he shared a deep bond. The suspense built up as viewers anxiously awaited the results of Liam's medical tests, hoping for the best while fearing the worst. It was a dramatic time in the bold and the beautiful, with viewers holding their breath as they waited to see what fate had in store for the young man. But then, the revelation came. Liam had been misdiagnosed. It was not a brain tumor after all, and his condition was not as dire as initially thought. For a brief moment, it seemed as if Liam had dodged a bullet. The relief was palpable, and many characters in the show, as well as the audience, exhaled with a sense of relief. However, little did anyone know that this fleeting moment of hope would be shattered in a matter of days. #### The shocking discovery. Just as things were starting to look up for Liam, a new and unexpected twist was about to unfold. Bill Spencer, his father, was in for the shock of his life when he arrived home one day to find his son in a terrifying situation. Bill had returned to the family estate after attending to some business matters, and he was not expecting the heart-stopping sight that awaited him. As he stepped into the house, he found Liam lying motionless on the floor, eyes closed, and seemingly unresponsive. In that moment, time seemed to stand still. The house, once filled with the usual hustle and bustle, became eerily silent, broken only by Bill's panicked gasps. Without thinking, Bill immediately called for help, dialing emergency services in a desperate bid to save his son. His heart pounded in his chest as he frantically tried to rouse Liam, but there was no response. The situation was dire, and the reality of what was happening began to sink in. Bill's worst fear was materializing before his eyes. His son was in serious trouble, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. The helplessness he felt in that moment was overwhelming, and he could do nothing but wait for the paramedics to arrive. ##### The final moments. As the paramedics rushed to the scene, Bill's thoughts were a chaotic swirl of confusion, fear, and disbelief. The doctors had assured him that Liam was healthy, that there was no tumor, no brain issue. How could this be happening now? What had caused his son to collapse so suddenly? Bill was beside himself, pacing anxiously, praying that his son would pull through. But as the emergency team worked desperately to stabilize Liam, it became clear that the situation was far worse than anyone had anticipated. The paramedics quickly transported Liam to the hospital, where a team of doctors took over. Bill, still reeling from the shock, could only stand by helplessly as the medical team fought to save his son's life. The suspense built up as the audience watched in agonizing anticipation, unsure of what would happen next. It was in these tense moments that the true gravity of the situation began to unfold. It wasn't just about a misdiagnosis anymore. It was about something much darker. When the doctor emerged from the emergency room, his face was grim. The weight of his expression told Bill everything he needed to know before a word was even spoken. The doctor's words confirmed what Bill had feared the most. Liam had suffered a catastrophic brain hemorrhage, a sudden and severe brain bleed that could not be stopped in time. The damage was too extensive, and despite their best efforts, there was nothing more they could do. Liam had passed away. ##### The aftermath. The news of Liam's death sent shockwaves through the entire family. Bill, devastated by the loss of his son, was inconsolable. The bond between father and son had always been strong, despite the tumultuous nature of their relationship. Bill had always seen Liam as his pride and joy, the son he had worked so hard to raise and provide for. To lose him so suddenly and without warning was a blow that Bill could never have prepared for. In the days following Liam's death, Bill found himself lost in a sea of emotions: grief, anger, guilt, and disbelief. His life would never be the same without Liam in it, and he was left to grapple with the fact that his son was gone forever. For Steffi, Liam's widow, the loss was even more devastating. She had been through so much with Liam, from their rocky relationship to their eventual reconciliation and marriage. She had thought they had so much more time ahead of them, but now that time had been cruelly taken away. Steffi was left to mourn not only the loss of her husband, but also the future they had planned together. The grief was unbearable, and she struggled to find a way to move forward without the man she loved by her side. The weight of her sorrow was compounded by the thought of their young daughter, Kelly, who would now grow up without her father. The rest of the family, including Hope Logan and Wyatt Spencer, also found themselves struggling to cope with the sudden and tragic loss. Liam had been a central figure in their lives, and his death left a void that no one knew how to fill. Each member of the family would have to navigate their grief in their own way, but one thing was clear: life as they knew it had changed forever. ####The grief and the future. Liam's death would set off a chain of events that would affect everyone around him. His passing would force his family to confront their own vulnerabilities and come to terms with the realities of life and loss. Bill's guilt over the fact that he had not been able to protect his son would haunt him, while Steffi would have to find the strength to raise Kelly without Liam's support. The aftermath of his death would force each of them to re-examine their relationships, their choices, and the direction their lives would take moving forward. As the story of Liam's untimely and shocking death unfolds, the emotional toll on the characters will be immense. It will test the bonds between them and challenge their ability to cope with unimaginable loss. For the bold and the beautiful, this tragic event will serve as a defining moment in the lives of its characters as they struggle to find meaning and purpose in the wake of such a devastating loss. The shockwaves of Liam's death will echo through every corner of their world, and the emotional fallout will shape the storylines for weeks to come. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, the drama is always on the rise, and the upcoming storylines are set to push the boundaries of emotion, betrayal, and family loyalty. As fans eagerly await the return of Thomas Forrester in September 2025, the tensions between the central characters are about to reach new heights. The situation involving Ridge Forrester, Taylor Hayes, and Brooke Logan is about to spiral into an explosive mixture of emotions, manipulations, and high stakes, with Thomas's return possibly serving as the catalyst for a series of events that could change the future of many relationships. As the complexities of their love triangle unfold, it seems inevitable that darker, more intense plot twists are coming into play. Let's dive into the intricate dynamics of the situation and explore the events leading up to Thomas's dramatic return. #### Ridge Forrester's inner turmoil. Ridge Forrester's life is about to become a whirlwind of conflicting emotions and secret dilemmas. On the surface, Ridge seems to have it all: a successful career in fashion, a family that depends on him, and two women who are vying for his affections. However, beneath the surface, Ridge's life is far from simple. His relationship with Taylor Hayes is on the brink of a major shift, and there's no denying the guilt he feels for his actions. Despite agreeing to marry Taylor when she proposed, Ridge is conflicted. Taylor's heart is on the line, and Ridge knows it. The pressure of the situation is becoming overwhelming, and he finds himself torn between his past with Brooke and his present with Taylor. The weight of the past looms large, especially considering Taylor's health history. She has battled the debilitating effects of broken heart syndrome, and Ridge made a promise that he would never let her go through such heartbreak again. But Ridge is now at a crossroads, and his deep-rooted guilt continues to gnaw at him. While Taylor is eager to make their wedding plans a reality, Ridge is struggling with his true feelings. He can't help but wonder if he's made the right choice in staying with her. At the same time, Ridge finds himself thinking about Brooke. Despite the complexity of their relationship, Brooke still holds a special place in his heart. Their connection has always been undeniable, even though their romantic entanglements have often been tumultuous. Ridge's time in Italy, during which he saved Brooke from a dangerous situation, only deepened his emotional attachment to her. He promised Brooke that he would help her fix things, a vow that will surely complicate his already fragile relationship with Taylor. Ridge's inner conflict is reaching a boiling point, and the repercussions of his decisions are going to reverberate through every aspect of his life. #### Taylor Hayes and her emotional manipulations. As Ridge grapples with his feelings, Taylor is feeling the weight of the situation in her own way. Her love for Ridge is profound, and her desire to marry him is more than just a wish. It's a dream she has held onto for years. But there's a sense of desperation in Taylor's actions. She knows that Ridge has his doubts, and she's not blind to the tension that exists between him and Brooke. Her proposal to Ridge was made with the hope of solidifying their bond, but as Ridge returns to Los Angeles, Taylor is faced with a harsh reality. Taylor's emotional manipulations are about to take center stage. As Ridge arrives home, Taylor is eager to move forward with wedding plans, despite the obvious strain in their relationship. She is practically glowing with excitement, speaking often of their impending union and the family they will form together. But beneath her sunny disposition, Taylor's heart is breaking. She's aware that Ridge's feelings for Brooke may still linger, and she cannot ignore the possibility that her long-held dreams of a future with him might crumble. She has already experienced the devastation of Ridge's previous departures, and the idea of him leaving her again is unbearable. Taylor's anxiety is palpable, and she will stop at nothing to keep Ridge by her side, even if it means resorting to emotional manipulation. When Kelly Spencer, Taylor's daughter, enthusiastically shares her excitement about her parents' upcoming wedding, it becomes clear that Taylor is deeply invested in the idea of a family reunion. But the cracks in this facade are beginning to show, and it's only a matter of time before Ridge's true feelings spill out into the open. Will Taylor's manipulations work, or will Ridge's guilt and lingering affection for Brooke tear them apart? ### Thomas Forrester's return. As the tension between Ridge and Taylor escalates, a major twist is on the horizon: the return of Thomas Forrester. In September 2025, Thomas will re-enter the world of the bold and the beautiful, and his return is sure to shake things up in ways that no one can predict. Thomas has always been a complex character, and his motivations are often shrouded in mystery. While he may have undergone some growth in recent years, his past actions continue to haunt him, especially in relation to Brooke Logan. For Taylor, Thomas's return could be the lifeline she needs. With Ridge's heart divided and Brooke still a prominent figure in their lives, Taylor may see Thomas as an ally in her quest to secure Ridge's love and loyalty. Thomas has always had a strained relationship with Brooke, and his bitterness towards her is no secret. After all, Brooke has never treated him with the kindness or respect he felt he deserved. This resentment could fuel a dangerous alliance between mother and son, and the two could work together to undermine Brooke's chances of rekindling her relationship with Ridge. But Thomas is no fool. While he may still harbor anger towards Brooke, he's also a calculating and intelligent character. He knows how to play the game, and his return is likely to come with an agenda of his own. Will he genuinely help his mother, or will he have his own reasons for getting involved in the battle for Ridge's heart? ### the battle for Brooke Logan. As Taylor and Thomas prepare to make their moves, Brooke Logan finds herself in a precarious position. Throughout the years, Brooke has had her fair share of conflicts with both Taylor and Thomas. Her relationship with Ridge has been a roller coaster, with countless ups and downs. But Brooke is determined to get back to the man she loves, and she won't back down without a fight. Ridge's rescue of her in Italy only reignited the flame between them, and Brooke is convinced that they have a future together. But she's not blind to the challenges ahead. Brooke will have to navigate the minefield that is Taylor and Thomas's growing alliance. With Thomas's return, it's clear that the stakes are higher than ever. Will Brooke be able to outmaneuver them and reclaim Ridge's heart? Or will Taylor and Thomas's schemes prove too powerful to overcome? ### a high-stakes showdown. As the drama unfolds, the tension between Taylor, Thomas, Ridge, and Brooke will only intensify. Taylor and Thomas may push their plot to new extremes, using emotional manipulation and underhanded tactics to keep Brooke away from Ridge. But their actions could have unforeseen consequences. Ridge is a man who values honesty and integrity, and when he eventually uncovers the truth about his family's scheming, the fallout could be catastrophic. Will Ridge choose to stand by his family, or will his love for Brooke win out in the end? The road ahead is filled with uncertainty, and the return of Thomas Forrester will undoubtedly add fuel to an already explosive situation. As the battle for Ridge's heart continues, the players in this high-stakes drama are about to learn that love, loyalty, and betrayal are never simple, and that the consequences of their actions will have far-reaching effects on their futures. The showdown between Taylor, Thomas, Brooke, and Ridge is only just beginning, and the twists and turns to come promise to keep fans on the edge of their seats.